Fotograferer du?
Ja.
Ikke nu, vel?
Jo.
Nu?
Den optager lige nu.
Det siger, jeg kommer med på billedet.
Ja, kan du.
Kunne du godt have sagt det.
Det har du lige gjort.
Jeg vil gerne dukke. Nå ja, den der.
Nej, vågar jag inte.
Det var helt
Det tar sin tid det där innan. Ja, det säger det. Alltså jag har ju levt med avgående mjölkor alltid. Holstein ska ju vara så, va? Men det har jag avgående på. Så jag tror ju det var lika lätt på den. Det var väl inte om marknaden fanns. Men just huvudformen har jag ju levt. Det går. Det är så vi verkligen går en annan så det är problem. Men det gick inte. Det går knappt att sälja några skönt.
Nej, just det.
Ja, men det är för det.
Nej, jag är osäker. Det är ju C-klassen för att slå på runt. I den klassen. de två.
This heifer calf class, I elected to start with the heifer that's about 7 months old. She's the youngest female in the class, but comparing her phenotypically to what we would have at home, she's very similar to what we would try and breed for. She's got a little bit of tick on the back of her backbone, but she is a really, really beautiful heifer in terms of her profile. She's tremendously level from the top of her shoulder, down her top and out of her hip. She's really deep-bodied. We'd call her broody because she's deep-bodied. She has a lot of capacity and boldness to her rib, but she's still very sound-structured. She easily tracks out. She meets her stride. She's very correct in the way that she sets down on all 4 corners of her skeleton. She's really long-fronted. She's clean and smooth about the point of her shoulder, and the young lady's done a tremendous job in terms of presenting her. The hair coat that she's got at this point in the summer, I think, is commendable. Just a really high-quality female that I think has a tremendous amount of potential as she develops and goes into a productive stage of life. Heifer calf in second is one that I think is very similar to the class winner in terms of the muscle shape that she offers. She's probably a stouter boned heifer. She's bigger footed. She also has an advantage in terms of being a little bit older, but she is a deep bodied, bold ribbed, really heavy muscled female. I just don't think she's quite as attractive through her front third. She's maybe a little bit bolder at the point of her shoulder. And then off her rear skeleton, I read her as being a little bit straighter or more upright in the angle to her hock. I don't think she hits the ground with quite as much flexibility or cushion off her hind leg as what the class winner does. The horn female that completes the class, I think, again, is one that I really like in terms of her depth of body. She's bold and open through her center rib. I don't think it'll be a concern for her. She's moderate in her frame score. I think she's ideal from that standpoint. I guess comparing that heifer to the other 2 cattle, she may be just a little bit narrower constructed, doesn't have quite the shape or the expression of muscle going down her top and out of her hip into her lower quarter as what the heifers that beat her in class perhaps do, but she's really elegant fronted. She's laid in smooth at the point of her shoulder, and like the other heifers in the class, she's more than sound enough structured for me in terms of the way that she's going to be from a longevity standpoint. So 3 excellent heifers. I think all of them have a very bright future. I think a really high quality female that initiates the class.
Du sa det besättning ihop? Ja. Nej, men det räcker. Det räcker. Ja, det är klart. Jävlar, vi kan med det. Det andra smakar skålpasta. Men hon var den som gick längst i showmaskiken i Kanada av de utländska. Det var det bara Kanada på. Så de har sett varandra förr. Han dömde ju den där.
Jo, han var på Luleå. Har du lärt dig att man ska leva så? Har du lärt dig att man ska skratta och stå tyvärr? Det gör man.
Åh, jag får in det som en sol.
Excellent class of yearling age heifers. I think there's a little bit of difference in age. The females placed on the far ends of this class are very similar. The dark red heifer in the middle is substantially younger than the other two, so that makes for a little bit of a challenge in terms of comparison. I think the heifer that does win the class, the horn female, for me is probably the longest bodied, highest volume female at this particular point in her development. I think she's really deep bodied. I think she's got that advantage over the other two cattle, as they're just more natural body dimension in terms of her depth and her boldness of rib at this stage in her development. She's very sound structured off both ends of her skeleton. She toes ahead straight and correctly off both ends. She travels with a long, fluid stride. One thing I would change about that female is she gets a little bit weak over her loin edge. For me, if I could strengthen her up and make her transition a little bit stronger, more correctly from the top of her shoulder back into her loin and into her hip, I think that's the thing that she needs. She just gets a little bit weak in the way that her hip transitions into her loin edge. But beyond that, an awfully nice female. Udder construction on her I think is acceptable. She's going to be probably a little bit lower on her rear udder than what I'd like, and maybe a little bit closer space than what I'd prefer, but I think her teat length is fine. I think udder quality in this class is going to be an advantage for that dark red polled heifer in the second place. I think she's the most level right now in the way that her udder should develop as she comes into her lactation later on in life. But for me, she's just a little bit frailer, a little bit narrow constructed female, albeit she's also younger and lighter weight in terms of her age and her development. She's, again, one that I think is probably a little bit leveler and squarer down her top side. I think she transitions smoother from her loin into her hip. But again, she's just a little bit frailer bone, narrow constructed female who perhaps is straighter off her hind leg and a little bit shallower bodied than what the class winner is. The horned heifer on the far side, again, is one that I really like structurally. I think she's square and true in the way that she travels, both off her front end and her rear skeleton. I guess as I look at that female, she's long-bodied, she's correct up front in the way that she goes into her shoulder. I just like to see more of her in comparison, particularly with the heifer that wins the class. If I could give that female more chest width, more dimension and muscle working down her top, and more natural width of skeleton off both ends, I think that would be an asset for her. If I could just make her stouter and higher volume in comparison with the calf that wins the class, that would be the biggest thing I would change with her. But I think as she develops too, she's of the moderate frame and the soundness of structure to be quite productive when set into production. So 3 high quality females, congratulations, and thanks for participating.
Ja.